All right. Welcome back for another episode of How to Make Money with Hard Money. Today, we're joined by a really special guest. Andy buys houses. Andy Williams, CEO, co-founder of the 100K Play, which is a really interesting real estate development model. So I'm excited for our borrowers to learn more about this as well.
Yes, sir.
So
yes,
thanks
sir.
for being here, man.
No problem. No problem.
Yeah, Andy, I kind of wanted to start, you're a local Florida talent, and your whole strategy and everything developed here in Florida. What was the early years like for you, and how did your childhood and everything lead you to real estate?
Basically, my childhood really left me in the streets. Like, I was in the streets selling drugs at 13. I started at 13.
Wow.
I bought my first car at 13. It was a box Chevy. And then,
No license, just out there with the car?
just out there with a car. Getting paper tags, taking off, getting markers, taking the...
Change the numbers?
Yeah, changing the numbers, changing the dates, all type of stuff. But then after that, I ended up getting expelled out of school in the 9th grade because I was getting a lot of trouble in school, so I got kicked out. Ended up going to a little juvenile detention center for like 10 months. Then I got out of there. Then I ended up graduating and going to the big prison.
Oh, graduated.
So throughout my whole teenage life, I've been basically incarcerated. So I really didn't get to live my whole as a juvenile.
You didn't have a youth, really?
No.
So you were basically raised in jail?
Right. And then when I got out when I was 22, like it was like my whole teenage years was gone.
Right.
So I had to figure out a way,
Reinvent yourself.
Yeah.
So basically you were born a man.
Right. I had to become a man way faster than I wanted to.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Right.
So you go through these hard years, your environment's tough, you were born in St. Pete, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then, so you're incarcerated up until 22. What's the change and what's your mentality like at 22? What are you thinking?
Well, when I was in prison, I was basically thinking like what I could do now, what I can do to basically make money with that ain't illegal.
Right.
And then I was just thinking I was doing stocks and thinking about real estate. So that's where the thought came about.
Right.
And then when I got out, it was a whole different story because you ain't got the money to do that. You ain't have the money or you ain't got nobody. It wasn't like it is now where everybody teaching it.
Right.
Back then in 2002, it's like,
No YouTube.
right, none of that.
None of that.
So it's like you got to learn it on your own.
Yeah.
So that kind of got pushed to the side because I ain't had the money for it. So I ended up going to P-Tech, learning how to paint cars.
Okay.
So I went there, learned how to paint cars, and just opened my own paint shop. And I did that before I started doing real estate. I was painting like 9 years.
But entrepreneurial pretty much from day one, it sounds like.
And it's just the same concept, basically taking nothing and turning it into something. So basically with a car, it'd be raggedy, then you paint it, put the rims on it, now it's nice.
No,
The same thing with a house. It's nothing, piece of land. Now we build on it, now you got a brand new house. So it's like the same outcome, it just was a different thing.
Yeah.
So you're involved in painting. What brings you, because you and I met when you started wholesaling, and it was really with your Andy Buy Houses truck. You had your whole thing wrapped up. So we met back in Channelside many years ago. And I remember we were giving you hard money loan just for your regular fix and flips before you even building.
Right.
So how did you transition from auto body, painting, all of the auto industry to wholesaling?
Basically, so I just wanted more. Like, I always wanted more. I'm never comfortable. It's like now, I'm building now, but I'm also going to my next level, going to be building townhomes and apartments, subdivisions. So I'm always looking to elevate. So basically, I started doing the wholesaling. And then, I was making anywhere between 5 to 10 grand, 5 to 20,000 wholesaling. And then you kind of like get tired of that. You want more.
And
so basically, I started fixing flipping.
Yeah.
Then I started making 40 to 80,000 on my deals. Then I still wanted more after that. So that's when I started building. Then I started making 100 to 200,000 on my deals. So it's like basically graduating and basically elevating yourself.
I love that shirt where it's like the wholesale flip builder, like the path, because it is such a, it's a familiar path for a lot of real estate investors. Wholesaling is such a good place to enter into real estate because you don't necessarily need a bunch of money to start, and you can kind of get some money quick and get going. You start meeting people. And so when you were wholesaling, how did you make the jump to flipping? How did you like buy you used wholesale income you had to buy your first house, I imagine?
Yeah, basically we used the hard money lenders like Caleb.
Yep.
We would pull up the Caleb and what I was doing first, I had wholesale deals that I can't sell. So basically I just closed on it myself.
Nice.
And then put a little makeup on it, then resell it to another investor. Like I never did my wholesale deals to retail.
Okay.
My flips, I basically make makeup on it. Probably do the cabinets, the kitchen, the bathroom, the floors, paint it, and do the outside, give it a little curb appeal, and I'm gonna resell it to another investor.
Yeah.
So it make it look like he ain't got much work to do to it.
Sure.
So in this process that you're learning all these things, you're learning about contracts, wholesaling, et cetera, but you spoke about making 5 to 10,000, then 20,000, then 40,000 to 80,000 to now the 100K play.
Right.
So how does wholesaling get you into actually building? And where does the thought come for you to create the 100K play?
When I was wholesaling, I never even thought about building.
Okay.
It all happened as I was moving up. Like back then, I never had those thoughts. I never thought I could build. Like a lot of people don't think they could build because that ain't what normal people do.
Yeah.
Right.
So everybody think that they can't do it.
Yeah.
But you got to think, everybody that's builders, they're normal people too. They just know something different.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's just like you said earlier, there wasn't like a place to go get educated on that either. I
Right.
mean, where are you gonna see somebody build unless you literally went to school for it or something like that?
Right.
So it's hard. That's why it's such an interesting story too, on how you kind of migrated into the building scene, because you broke through that barrier that is typically, for licensed GCs, like that's the persona of it, but it's
Right.
not really like that.
Right.
So like, how did you break through that barrier? Because even flippers, I mean, there's a lot of guys flipping homes that are just like, oh, building's so far away from me,
Yeah.
but it's a lot closer than they think.
Yeah, it's all about, it's a mindset thing. So basically, you got to have the right mindset. Like when I first started building, I didn't just jump right into it right away. Like I took like 4 months procrastinated because not knowing that I could do it, not knowing what to do
Sure.
or how to do it.
Sure.
So I just got tired of procrastinating after them 4 months and said, I'm going to just go ahead and do it. Like
Yeah.
what I got to lose.
Did you have some challenges, I imagine, along the way,
Yes.
the first couple? What were,
Yes.
what were the first couple of biggest hurdles that you
Some
had?
of the things, like basically, if you don't have the finance, that could be one of the problems. If you ain't got your finances lined up.
Yep.
And then the first time, I didn't even know the steps. I didn't know what came after what.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to do, how
So
to
you
do
didn't
it.
did you have a partner or anybody who had been building,
No,
just totally
I did it all myself.
pioneer,
I knew
man.
nobody doing it.
I love it.
Isn't that the best way to learn by experience?
Oh,
Right.
trial by fire, man. I love it.
And then
I had a similar building experience like that where you keep making so many mistakes.
right.
It's the only way to learn.
And then it was a good learning mistake because I made $127,000 the first one.
nice.
That's your
knowing
first
what I
deal,
was doing.
$127,000.
What a great
deal
mistake.
One.
Yeah.
Great mistake.
Right.
So bring us through actually, you split up $127,000 as your first deal. Walk us through that deal, this breakthrough pioneer deal that changes your mind of real estate. If you could walk us through how you made that money. What did you do and where was it? And
Basically, it was in St. Pete. I built the first house. Basically, I got that lot with one of my homeboys. He was in the county. I had sold him a wholesale property. It was a duplex.
okay.
But he never ended up doing nothing with it. Like, never rehabbed it. So the city knocked it down.
Okay.
And then, they had he still hadn't did nothing with it, so they put a lien against it, so they were going to try to take it.
Yep.
And then he had to end up going to jail. So I was hollering at him in jail. I had went to see him, and I asked him, let me get the lot so I could build on it, then I'll pay you on the back end. So basically, like I got
Really?
the lot for free, well, I didn't have to pay up front for it.
Yep.
Then I just started building. Like, that's when my mindset had to change. So I had to get it out of the foreclosure with the city. Just start building on it. Took me like 11 months to build that first one. Like I had one of my contractors, he was a guy that did my concrete. He turned me on to a lot of the subs that I needed to actually build.
Okay.
So basically, once I got to like dried in, I got my walls up, my doors on, my tile, my drywall, everything else was like a rehab. So
Yeah.
I already knew that stage. So basically, I just needed to get there. And I had, one of my contacts end up giving me a lot of people to get to that stage.
Wow.
That's awesome. That's the benefit of being it sounds like you've always done this. It sounds like you're building your network and your team too. I mean, from
Right.
wholesaling to flipping to building, that's the beauty about being in the wholesale space, because you're selling to real estate investors who can refer you business. So were you
Right.
always building your team like that in your community?
Yeah, I always kept a team. Like I always kept some workers, but it's a different type of worker when you're dealing new construction than
It's true.
doing rehab. So
Very
you got to
true.
really get all new workers. You got
Yeah.
to change everybody up because you dealing with the rehabbers. Like they be wanting money up front.
Yeah.
They want money the day of, or after a day of work. They
Yeah.
want money to pay their workers.
Sure.
Yeah, right there on the spot.
Right, but when we dealing with new construction, like we don't pay the people till after the inspection pass.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like you had to learn how to change those and deal with those different type workers.
I got burned a couple times hard to learn that lesson myself.
Right.
So, fast forward, going back to the 100K play, you incorporate credit cards. So how does the system work
Yeah,
from
maybe
the
break
beginning
down
to
that.
end? And yeah, talk to us. And I know nothing about it. I'm coming in as a student. How would you describe the 100K play from beginning to end?
Okay, basically what we do, we get high limit business credit cards because, I had the record, I ain't had no job, W-2s, all that, so I couldn't get money from no bank. So the only thing I said I can do to make it happen is I can fix my credit report, and I could go ahead and just get high limit business credit cards. So we get business credit cards, 0% interest, take the money off those credit cards to actually get started. And then when we get up to like the foundation of the house, or the foundation of the walls, we go in into a hard money lender. Then we ask him for the funding because now we got something to lend against. So now they see something that's physical that's there, and now it's more like, okay, well, we'll be willing to invest now compared to if it was just plain dirt.
Right.
So
Exactly.
that's why we started with the credit cards, and after the credit cards, we did with a hard money lender, and after that, we got our finished product, and then we just either refi, pay everybody back, or you could sell it to pay everybody back. It all depends on what you want to do. But my students, I had them do like the first 1 or 2 properties you're gonna sell to get your money right.
Sure.
Right.
That way, it get you some money up. Then after that, you just start doing the
Start holding them.
just refi it, and I do short-term rentals.
Yep. You've done a lot of the refinances, right? Building your portfolio.
Yep.
It's always a great move if you can, and you don't need the cash back right away, and you can keep going. It's an awesome strategy.
And then it's tax-free
Really
when you
unique.
refi too.
That's the big thing that a lot of people don't realize. When you take those refinances, no taxes.
Right.
So you get that 100,000, and then so when they refinance and
plan.
take that money, is there still equity in these houses, or are they
Yes.
bone dry?
Okay, I got one on refi right now. I'm refied at $300,000, but it's appraised at $481.
Okay.
So I was all in at $200 building it with a lot, but I refied at $300, so I made $100,000 right there tax free. Then I still got $181 in equity.
So you're not even pulling all the equity out, and can you leverage those into your new deals?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, I just take that money I made from that and just take that to move it to the next deal.
That's amazing. So technically, people, if they come to you, they can have absolutely no money as long as their credit's right.
Right.
So for you, with people who don't have good credit, do you have the ability to, guide them in fixing their credit and just being aligned to make the deal happen?
Yeah, we got people that could repair their credit. And also, if you don't have the right credit, you can also partner with somebody that got the credit.
Great point.
And while you're getting your credit fixed, you can partner with somebody. That way you're able to move fast. Just get them a percentage.
Yep.
Some people give them 50-50. Some people just get them 25% of it because they're not really doing nothing but putting the money up.
Yep.
So if they're making 25% of their money, anybody want that.
Yeah.
Any investor want 25% of their money.
Yeah.
Especially if it's in real estate too.
I love it. How do they typically start, to buy the land, or how does that do they need to have a little bit of cash to start to buy the land, or do you guys partner up and help them? How does that work?
We do the credit card. So basically, you can do if you get hard money lenders, some of them will lend half of the land.
Mm-hmm.
So we take the other half of ours off the credit card.
Okay.
So if you got, just say we're gonna get it between
Like cash advances from the card.
No, you don't want them. It costs too much.
Okay.
So basically we get 150 to 200K worth of credit cards.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, what we do, we could wire the money off a credit card to the title company.
Brilliant.
Can you?
Brilliant.
Yes.
I didn't
I didn't know that either.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's freaking
So
awesome.
how can you send a wire from a credit card to a title
It's a
company?
couple companies out here that you could use that is a wire for you. It's 3%.
So that's
it's
the
a
missing
3%
link there,
fee.
because if you can do that, you can really get into deals
Right.
early on. That's a brilliant
I got a lot of
strategy.
my mastermind students that actually did that.
Okay.
They wire the money. They wire their half to the title company, and then hard money lenders send the rest.
Yeah.
And that's how they get their first piece of property.
Awesome.
So you can literally buy land with a credit card. Then you start doing bills and paying with the credit card.
I know
again.
everybody's learning something new today.
I know I'm learning. So once they get that and they build all the structure and they do the refinance, you're just rinse and repeating this?
Right. Just and I do the same house. The only thing may be different, I may add a 2-car garage on it. Or some of them I got, one single story house is 1,500 square foot. I got that same house with a 2-car garage, and now I got a 2-story house.
Yep.
So basically I'm doing one of those 3 houses. And now I'm getting a townhome built up. It's a 4-unit townhome.
Nice.
So that's what I'm moving into next. So I got like 6 more lots now that I haven't touched. After I get through bidding on those, anything I buy gonna be acreage so I can do the townhome. I'm not doing single family no more.
I love it.
And why are you getting out of the single family? Is it just
Money.
money?
That's
That's
the
it.
next
The
graduation,
100K
right?
play changes to the 500K play.
That's right.
You got a rebrand now? Just put times 5, right?
Right, 5X.
5X. I love it.
How was it, yet again, we go back to how you started in prison, not with the education and getting out of school real early and leaving school early. How did you learn how to display this to the world, write it down, create the structure of the book, and just be able to teach? Because that's a big thing is a lot of people get involved in business, but it's hard to teach exactly what you do because it's so built inside of you by going through the experience. It's hard to explain it sometimes. How did you find the ability to explain it to people?
That wasn't even supposed to happen. 'Cause
Okay, it's a chance.
I don't even like talking to people. So, I'm a quiet person, as you know.
Yeah.
I don't really talk. So basically the whole 100K play came about while it was supposed to be some guys that was kind of interviewing me like this. And the boot camp was supposed to be to where I'm answering questions, but giving the people the game on how to do it.
Right.
But actually, when it was time for the boot camp to come, I only had like 7 people. So the guy told me if I don't have 10 people, it really ain't really worth his time to do it.
Right.
So I had 7 people. I had them took their money. They getting planning to come down, and he said he wasn't doing it. So I had to figure out a way to do it myself because I didn't want to disappoint these people. So I had to get up there and figure it out.
That's awesome.
That's great. Trial by fire.
It wasn't planned. I didn't. I couldn't see myself teaching people or either in front of a bunch of people talking.
Right.
That wasn't me. That was something that I never did and never thought I'd do.
That's so funny. But you got to get out of your comfort zone for success. I mean, you've historically done that. You know,
you seem like you love it now, though. So you were able to adapt, and now you enjoy it.
I realized it wasn't bad because all I'm doing is telling them what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It ain't like I'm got to teach and try to tell them something that I don't know. All I'm doing is telling you everything I do.
I love it. Just staying in your lane too. We do the same thing as far as like we try and we're hard money guys, we're real estate guys, but if you want to talk stock options, like I'm not your guy. Like I just really try to stay in. We try to stay in our lane too. Right. When you do that, it's easier to talk about it. You're more comfortable because you're it's so natural.
Yeah, for sure.
How it was.
For sure. And then so now going into the future, as the mastermind has grown, you're through many cities. I don't know how many cities are you in. You're dealing with celebrity clients. I see your Instagram and how it's going off. You're dealing with, you got your hand everywhere.
Right.
So how did you expand, and did you choose certain cities, or do you stick local to Tampa specifically, or how are you attacking the nation?
We stick with the Tampa Bay area, but we got people all over building here. Like we got people in Cali, New York, Texas, Georgia, Arizona. They coming down here to learn the 100K play. Some of them going back to doing it in a city. But some of them just staying here and doing it. And when they join my mastermind, basically they get to use my whole team.
Right.
So a lot of them out-of-state people just doing it here, getting in my mastermind, and they use my whole team to build a house. So it move way faster. They ain't got to worry about finding the people because I already have them for them. I let them use everybody I got. They get to come to all my boot camps for free. We have Zoom calls every week. So it's like they got me holding their hand through the whole process of building it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Compared to if you come to the boot camp, and then you learn the game and go back to your city. Now you got to do everything basically on your own.
Right.
But we still got like a little WhatsApp chat forum where they get to ask questions and, put questions in the chat. But it ain't nothing like being on them Zoom calls every week to where we got me holding your hand and having access to my number to just call me whenever when something come up. So, and basically, a lot of people don't know that. Like, a lot of people, when they doing this, they try to, people like me, the mentors, they try to take control of the deal. So basically, they want the people to pay them, and then they pay everybody else.
Yeah.
Right.
Me, I don't do that. I give them access. I give them the people numbers.
Full
You call them,
transparency.
you set up everything. You calling them, you paying them, you buying your own materials, so you ain't got to worry about me taking that in front of you.
Right.
I ain't overcharging you or upselling you on nothing.
Okay.
Because you doing everything. All I'm doing is just showing you what to do and how to do it.
Right.
Making sure you paying the right numbers.
I
Good.
love
So
that
you make sure they don't
strategy.
get taken advantage of,
Right.
and then you're allowing them to do the work, so they're truly learning what's going on.
Right.
So important today, especially in the day of like Instagram scammers and everybody trying to get the coaching mentor. It's like to have that's a brilliant strategy, and the transparency there is so important. That's probably a real value. That's why you grew so quickly too, because you're like providing real tangible value when you're not trying to screw people over.
Right.
I mean, a lot of people do it the other way, to your point.
Yeah, majority. It ain't too many people. I don't know nobody that do
Dude,
it
I
this
know.
way.
Yeah, it's so unique. The model's unique. How you go about it.
No, it's so funny because when I speak at some of your events and your boot camps, and I meet a lot of your clients, you made a lot of people millionaires. How does that feel? How does it feel from being in prison to making other people millionaires, including yourself?
It feels crazy because now it's like I'm actually showing people how to make money. And it's like, we even got a police that's building with us.
So now you're teaching the police how to make money?
We got a police that's, she halfway through her bill. She in the mastermind program.
Oh, man. So we're going to have the whole force working doing bills now.
Yeah, she from Miami. So we actually she got 3 lots here now. So she actually making moves. And it's
That's
crazy
great.
how, like, I used to be running from the police. Now I got the police
With you.
on
Coming
the team.
full circle.
Hey, I had a dream the other night saying, dang, am I a snitch now because I'm working with the police?
As long as she ain't taking that money to use it against you. You know what I mean?
Right.
No.
That's awesome.
The whole goal of life was to stay away from the police. Now I'm working with them.
Well,
Now
he
you
says
work-
that too when like you're a community of people, like how it seems like you're building real relationships with them too.
Right.
Like they become friends and family type. I mean,
Yeah,
especially the ones that are close, right?
That's what it's like. It's more like family. It ain't really like just a money thing. It ain't
Yeah.
really about come to the program and do that. It's like everybody in our family, in our group is more like family.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, everybody help each other out. Everybody deal with each other. Everybody like in different areas. Like when we pull up to different areas, we got somebody to call because
Yeah.
we got somebody there.
It's brilliant.
And it's like it's crazy.
We noticed that even from I mean, we did a couple loans recently together, and it's like, you know, these your borrowers, our borrowers, you know, they're like, you can just tell that relationship's genuine.
Yeah.
It's special.
And it's really amazing the education they have too. You know, not being that you're a hard money lender, that's why you use us, but the type of education you're giving them, they come in with knowledge of hard money lending. You know, they have somewhat of an understanding, even though it might be their first hard money loan.
Right.
So I know they're getting value.
Making Caleb's job easy over here.
I know. They're coming in, oh, I know I need to do this, and I'm further along, and they'll give me all the permits. They'll have everything ready, and I'm like, wow, someone's been teaching you something.
Right.
And I'm like, how many loans have you taken? I'm expecting them to say 10, 15, something. They're like, that's my first one. I'm like, okay. And you make our life nice and easy. But so now that you developed this 100K play, you're in many little cities, all these cities across the nation. Where would you say was the hardest deal you did and the most successful deal? If you can give us an example of what has happened for you, good and bad.
The hardest would be like what took the longest.
Okay.
I got a couple of projects that when I was stuck in framing for like 2-3 months, getting revisions, having to change stuff because the plans needed to be changed or whatever that was on the plans.
Okay.
So that'd be like the hardest thing. And then the most one that made me the most money, it's like all mine make a lot of money because I bought lots back 3-4 years ago when they was 45,000, 50,000.
So you were land banking for a couple of
I'm
years.
making like 50 to 100,000 more than what average people making now.
Just on the lot.
Because they making the lots cost 150, 120 now. So I was winning back then, but my average deal, I'm making 200K per deal.
Per deal. Wow. And then yet again, that refinance makes it tax free.
Right.
So you're
awesome.
good.
And that same house, if somebody was doing that right now, they'll be making 150
Wow.
compared to me making the 200 because I bought at the right time. Like when I sold my first house, I just took all that money and bought land. I didn't even get to enjoy it.
Yeah. Smart. Yeah.
I get to enjoy it now, but I built on it. But back then, I ain't get to do nothing with it. I just reinvested.
So how would you say, has this changed your family? Like, I don't know how big your family is or how you have your family structured, but has this changed how you educate your kids? I know you have a son.
Mm-hmm.
Are you changing the way your family works from how you were raised, or what is their family life like?
Yeah, it's totally changed the way they live. Basically now, my goal is to leave each one of my kids $100,000 and a house. So now they got opportunity that I never had. They got a choice. Like, you get to keep this house, you get to sell this house, you get to do whatever you want. So I never had that opportunity. I had to get everything from the mud. Mm-hmm. So that gives them like a jump start on the world. Because a lot of times we out here, we don't got no start. We never left nothing. So
Yeah.
my goal is to lead them with that. And then now they seeing they don't have to do the thing that I did. They don't have to grow up in the projects. They don't have to be without having nothing or finding stuff, making it hard on themselves. Like it's more easily attainable now. So they get it. It kind of handicapped them though, because you try to do them so much for them that to where they're not really getting to do nothing for themselves because you kind of. But
Fine line.
I'd rather have them like that than to have them go from the struggle.
Completely understandable. So now that you've gotten this empire that you've built and you're going to continue to grow and educate, what would you tell the younger Andy right now today?
Get your credit right.
Get your credit right?
Get your credit right. Like, you can't make moves without credit. Credit, the main thing. Like, you can make moves without credit, but you ain't gonna make many moves. Cause your money gonna get tied up. Like, sooner or later, you ain't gonna be able to do no more moves cause your money's stuck. Just say if you're doing a deal, you building a house. I learned this. Like, when you build that first house and you're using all your money to do it, it's like now if something come up, a lot come up for cheap or another project come up, you can't get it because you ain't got no money no more. Your money tied up.
Yeah.
So if you got credit, you could easily get credit cards, and then now you could use that to build, and then you got extra money left over, so in case something else pop up, now you can jump on the next one, grab another lot, and just hold that while you building that first one.
Right.
And then that way, that's one of the mistakes I made too. Like when I was building, I had that one lot, and then when I got done, I was stuck for like 4 or 5 months trying to find another lot. So if I would have bought me a lot in the mid-process of building, then I would have been, as soon as I got done building that first one, I could have just jumped to that second one. And then there wouldn't have been no dead time in between. I would have been able to keep making the money.
Gotcha.
But, so it's like you gotta know what to do and how to do it. And I'll say just always have you a backup or have you one. After you build your first one, when you get in the middle, you see what you're doing, you halfway through, go ahead and grab you another lot.
Yep.
So the next, when you get done with that one, you're already ready for the next.
Yeah, really smart. I mean, in the construction process, because in building homes, there's obviously the acquiring of the land, like you said, you got the financing, you have the subcontractor management, you got permits and having to deal with the city. And I know you were building through COVID also, or around that time when supply chain issues were there. I mean, what was the most difficult of those, of that construction process? What did you find the most difficult to learn?
Well, back then when COVID was happening, everything was way higher. Wood was double the price.
Yeah.
Like a piece of plywood was costing like $50. And it's like
It's nuts.
the framing process, that probably doubled on framing.
Yeah.
And then it was some workers got sick, didn't come to work, or like
Yeah.
it was totally different. It slowed up the projects.
But you weren't alone, I guess. Everybody was kind of getting slowed up. Not that that makes it any better. But
Yeah, it was like the world was slowed up, and it was just. But I ended up still selling my house during COVID, and
So you just kept moving all the way through.
yeah.
And how do you feel about the market? Do you feel like it's been harder for you? Because you've been through when it was good, and now you've gone through a little bit of ups and downs. How do you feel about building in general? Do you see a good future in it? Do you see it slowing down a bit, or what do you think?
No, I think it's good. I think you got to think we're building at half the price, so it's like even if just say the market do happen to the market, just say the market drop. How often do the market drop, and how much do it drop? It may drop 25%,
Okay.
and we're in. Okay, just say for instance, we in 200K. The house worth 400. Like if the market dropped 25%, that'll go down to what?
Yeah. It's still 350.
Yeah,
Right, we still up.
25
So
range.
the market got to drop in half for us to even break even.
And even then, you can stick a tenant in there and start
Right.
collecting
Worst
rent.
case scenario, we put a tenant in there. Rent ain't dropping.
Yeah.
Rent going up.
Yep.
So we can still a tenant in there, and it's still, we still maintaining. We
Yeah.
still good. And then
Uh-oh,
months
look,
later,
we got a visitor.
buddy.
Let him come on in. We should always let him come see Daddy. This is a beautiful thing.
come on, baby,
Come on, big man.
come on.
We're gonna make him take the exit intro there.
Yeah.
Come here, little man.
He's going to be famous like your dad.
He's gonna be famous like his dad. But no, he's cool. Let's bring him. There you go. Come see your daddy. Because this is really what it's all about and why you've made all the sacrifices you've made, right?
Yep. That's what it started. That's what I do it for.
And this is who you do it for, this is the biggest blessing of it all.
Right.
So even though with the market, you see extremely bullish on new construction moving forward, no matter what, because of your margins are built in the construction costs and how you're buying.
I said, I really don't care if it's bullish or not. I just know it's the more demand right here in the city. It's going to always be demand, so they're going to always need houses.
Yep.
And our worst case scenario, we can't lose because real estate going to stay going up, and the market got to drop high price for us to break even.
Yeah. And even then, I think it's smart because you've also insulated a lot of the risk for yourself because, like you said, you're already set up. You got property management. You're doing Airbnbs and
Right.
rentals. So he's really mitigated his risk from that front in a market correction.
Yeah.
So, and I think just from a market perspective, we came back from the MPLA this past weekend, the National Private Lenders Association conference. And nationally, the lenders in general are very bullish on new construction right now. Ground up new construction was definitely the hot topic of the conference. Lack of supply still and lack of new finished product also.
Right.
And when you think about it, like, if you look around, you barely see anybody doing rehabs anymore.
I know.
Right.
You see more new construction than anything.
Well, yeah, everyone says like it just makes sense. Like, why are you going to rip down the wall and deal with all those problems when you can have it fresh from the start?
Funny,
Right,
we
but
shifted
that's
our
problem.
yeah.
Actually, talk about how we've shifted a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, we're following you right from the start too, because
Yeah.
we were doing all fix and flips, from 21 to 22, 23. We were doing tons of fix and flips. and that dried up completely for us. And now we're building 6 townhomes and have a couple other townhome projects on the horizon.
Right.
So it's funny you said that. We're moving towards new construction townhomes also.
Right.
So I think from a market perspective, well, we're also in the path of growth, right? And being in Florida, in Tampa Bay, you know,
Right.
we're at the right place, right time, right city. So
And we in Florida, one of the hottest spots. So when other people feel the market change, we don't.
yeah,
Because everybody's still shooting to come here.
it's true.
Right.
Compared to other cities, everybody not really jumping into those cities like they jumping in here.
It's so true. Even we were learning, you know, they had some big data or in Florida about, you know, everybody knows the national stories of New Yorkers and Californians moving to Florida and Texas, right?
Right.
But even some of the sub narratives that were pretty interesting that we were learning is like, you know, Tampa got 1,000 people a day, but also we lost like 800 plus a day to Lakeland. So you have a lot of people migrating in from New York, Texas into Tampa. And then a lot of the locals are getting priced out and kind of having to move to these submarkets just outside. It's happening in Miami. They're moving up the coast to Orlando. In Tampa, they're moving out to like Lakeland, Newport Richie, you know. And we see that, and there's a lack of product in those areas too.
Right. They're moving to the outskirts because they're cheaper.
Exactly. So
And that's how,
interesting.
that's what we do too. Like when we're building, like if we in the city and it's costing us too much to get the lots, and then we just gonna go to the outskirts and just let everybody come nuts. Cause y'all gotta come there soon.
Well, I heard you were doing something interesting with the city also in St. Pete on getting lots. You were working with the city, is that right? To get
Basically, the
distressed
city got a
properties?
lot disposition program to where they give builders lots. Like it's like, just say for instance, 12 lots may come up, lots that they don't condemn or like property they don't knock down, stuff they don't, code violations, all that stuff that happen, and they end up with the properties. They give them to developers and let them build on them. But you got to qualify for it. It's a process and an application you got to fill out.
And so you've found that niche too, and you're taking advantage of that?
Yeah, so I did that. I did it probably 3-4 years in a row, but I end up just getting one this time.
Awesome.
So yeah, I got a lot from them, built on that. I'm done with that now. I'm just waiting to get the CO.
Nice.
And then basically gonna sell that one. And then just, any more come up?
And was that just networking, or did you just meet the right person, or how did you go to the city and find that, or how did that fall in your lap, or did you create it, that relationship with the city?
No, it ain't really a relationship. It's any developer. It's just most people don't know about it. You gotta know about it.
Right.
So basically, when you know about it, and then it's a point, it works off a point system. Whoever scored the most points on their application is gonna get the properties. And then basically, they send out a list whenever the properties come up.
Okay.
And then now everybody put in the bid for like, you got to put in the bid, like put like 3 of the properties on there that you want. Or like in case you don't get this, somebody else get this one, you could get the next one. So basically you just put them on there, put it in, and then they pick who they give it to.
It's really like giving back to the community too. I mean, obviously we're making money, we're a business, but you're also like improving the communities we live in. You know, these houses are condemned and they need somebody to put a brand new house on there. Plus in St. Pete, we're so short on houses to begin with. Like it's genuinely a great thing for the community.
Even affordability has been a big topic in St. Pete specifically. Have you thought about any affordable housing, or is that part of the deal with the city?
That's affordable housing. Anything from the city is affordable housing. So you can only sell it for 100%, well, 80% of what it's worth. So for instance, that house there, I can't sell no more than $325.
Okay.
When on the regular market, I could get $425.
Okay. So they cap the
Right,
sale
they cap
price.
what you make. And then you got to build it with your own money. You can't get no financing on it. You got to have the money.
Okay.
And you got to build within a year.
Okay.
Those are stipulations they put on it.
Oh, interesting.
Wow.
That's great.
That's a lot.
It's cool that the city's doing that though. I mean,
And they give you the lot, $10 a month.
$10 a month?
that is
So
amazing.
basically you pay for the year, you pay $120, and that'll cover you.
That's insane. That's so good. There's opportunity exists where others can't, don't
Yeah,
know.
and that's really the big thing is, you never give up. You have a never give up attitude, and you're a positive attitude going through all of this. So you found ways to survive. So what's your outlook for the future? Is just keep expanding 100K play, or how you want to?
I'm gonna start. My whole deal is like, I'm gonna start working with bigger clients or bigger celebrities, and just start doing a townhome play. So basically, I'm gonna do like, just say for instance, if I get, we're gonna start buying acres of land.
Yeah.
And then, just say for instance, I put 8 townhomes on it. I'm gonna do to where I'm not charging the people to build for them. I'm on equity. So just give me, if I build 8 townhomes, give me 2 townhomes. And
So you're not a
keep the
pay for
6.
service guy. You're an equity guy now.
Yes.
Bottom line.
So that's the next level.
Keep graduating, man.
The next level is just pay me in equity.
Any little snippets of celebrities you're going to be dealing with, or any big plans you have?
Not in particular. I got a couple football players that's been hitting me up, want me to do work with them.
Okay.
So that, and whoever's trying to get money,
That's
whoever's
love
trying
it.
to get
Or
it.
you can sign
I
us
love
out.
it. I said that's a good transition for us, huh? Anybody trying to get money?
That's right. And that's what we're here to do. We provide the money and the opportunity. People have to come and take it, but that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Right.
But Andy, we want
Awesome,
to
man.
thank you for
Yeah.
coming out here and speaking to the people and getting your name out there. Dave, you have anything you want to leave us with?
No, super educational. I mean, I know a lot of listeners will have learned something new today, and it sounds like you're gonna keep paving the way. So we'll make sure we'll tag you and everything below. It'll be really cool. You watch Andy's videos and what he's doing. It's special. So we appreciate you coming.
I appreciate it.
How can they
Appreciate y'all
find
having
you?
me. You can find me on Instagram with all the platforms at Andy Buy Houses or either the 100K Play. I'm on there doing my thing, showing y'all what to do, how to do it. So basically, I give y'all the game. It's on y'all to take it and run with it, or just keep sitting back watching us do it. But we gonna do it regardless.
I love it.
That's right. And I love
Awesome.
one of your slogans, get in the game.
Get in the game.
Get in the game.
All right, man. Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of How to Make Money with Hard Money. Like, follow, and subscribe on YouTube and all social media platforms at DKC Lending.